G'day everyone, RJ here with another episode of RJ's This Is Not Legal Advice, or TINLA for short, and nor is it. So a few days ago I suggested via Twitter to PR Guy 17, there's been all this big mystery as to who this person is or these people, and involving Avi Yemeni as an example. And the backstory is, from what I've read, that apparently PR Guy 17 has called Avi Yemeni a criminal and also a national security threat. So, think of those things as you will. And obviously, the truth is a complete defense to defamation. But again, that has many caveats as well. And with defamation, there are imputations. So if someone has a criminal record, they might be seen as a criminal. So maybe they don't win on that, particular charge, if you want to call it that. But maybe they might win on a national security threat, terrorism imputation. So a reasonable person might see, if someone's called a national security threat, that accusation basically means that they're a terrorist. And unless PR Guy 17 has some kind of credible evidence as to how that might be for Avi Yemeni, e.g. if he had information that Avi Yemeni was a Mossad spy or a Katza or something like that, then maybe that might well be a sufficient offence, but perhaps not. And I don't know if it is exactly what PR Guy 17 said, but that is what it is rumoured to be. I've not looked up the actual tweets, which I suppose have been deleted anyway, but you get the idea. So a couple of days ago, I suggested via Twitter to PR Guy 17, hey, why don't you out yourself, come out of the closet, so to speak, and steal the glory from Avi Yemeni revealing it and, getting the views and the glory and whatever. So I don't know if it was my tweet in particular, but all has been revealed now. So on Friendly Geordie's channel, i.e. Jordan Shanks, Jeremy Maluta has come out as being PR Guy 17. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. There has been a lot of discussion back and forth between myself and someone who works at a law firm. I'm not sure if they're a lawyer or not. They're not listed as a lawyer on their business website, but, perhaps they're a paralegal or something like that. But basically, that person was claiming, it's a garbage case. Avi Yemeni's never going to sue PR Guy 17 and whatnot. And I suggested that that's not necessarily the case. And also the person was saying that PR Guy 17, it isn't even really liable, or, it's a garbage case. It'll never go to court. And obvious imputations or suggestions that it would be thrown out if it did go to court. And I did point out, hey, look, it's already been before a federal court judge who would not have issued the orders or dealt with the matter, even though they were, and I'll go back slightly, but even though the orders were by consent. So Avi Yemeni, to explain, sued Twitter to reveal the information in preliminary discovery, i.e., subpoenaed Twitter to find out the identity. That has returned something like 400 odd sessions, 26 of which were not masked via VPNs, even though there's ways to find out, who's behind VPNs anyway. But then they were going to go to the two telcos and then demand the information from them, and then obviously go to the court again and subpoena that information if required, which it probably would require a subpoena due to privacy laws. And obviously Avi Yemeni should still do that because, perhaps Jeremy Maluta is not really PR Guy 17 or isn't the only PR Guy 17, but, we'll find out what happens from there. And then I did suggest to that person working for a law firm that obviously PR Guy 17 was more worried than some people were claiming, because otherwise they wouldn't bother trying to combat all of this, and all the stories in the media that it's a precedent, blah blah blah, to find out who someone is with an anonymous social media account. Besides they're dopey for saying that, or they're just repeaters, they're repeating some other person's dopey comment when it is a standard natural thing. And then other people are saying, oh, Twitter's going to not comply and they're going to appeal it and all this other stuff, yet it was via consent. So anyway, it'll be interesting to see what happens. I'm not for or against either side. It would be interesting to see the outcome. However, there have been some interesting court cases where, say, John Setka tried suing Tony Abbott, and it went something like Tony Abbott publicly called John Setka a thug and maybe a bully as well, and basically that was shown to be correct in court, including various, criminal activities or charges or accusations against John Setka. There was also a case in, perhaps it was Victoria, where there was a man who borrowed some money and then couldn't pay it back, and then didn't pay it back. So someone accused him, I think one of the people who he borrowed money from, accused him of being a thief, a liar, etc. And then the person who lent the money was successfully sued for making those claims against the person. And the judge went through and said, oh, well, I don't remember the person's name, but you'll get the idea. I'll just use a pseudonym. Bob has hard times, and that's the reason why Billy wasn't paid. And therefore, Billy calling Bob a liar and a thief and whatever loses, and therefore those damages from memory vastly outweighed the actual money that was owed. So it is interesting with defamation cases that they can go both ways. And we've also just seen with Johnny Depp and Amber Heard what happened there. So Amber Heard was sued for 3 different imputations, and that concerned, her making false claims, and it has been shown to be false via the court, of Johnny Depp doing domestic violence, physical abuse on her, and then she countersued on 3 imputations. She was successful against Johnny Depp, but not for what Johnny Depp did. So his lawyer actually said, not the one in that case, but said publicly that Amber Heard and 2 of her friends set up a scene to pretend that it was domestic violence, and then the jury found that was defamatory. So Johnny Depp was awarded $10 million in general damages, plus $5 million for punitive damages, so extra on top for the egregious nature of what was said and or published. It doesn't have to be spoken, it can be written, and it was actually written in that case. And then Amber Heard won against Johnny Depp $2 million for what his lawyer claimed about her setting up a scene with a couple of her friends, the lawyer being an agent for Johnny Depp. Therefore, Johnny Depp could have been sued, and he could have, if he really wanted to, joined that lawyer as a party, that kind of thing, but, he didn't worry about that. Plus also then the damages against Amber Heard, so in Johnny Depp's favour, were reduced, the punitive part down to $350,000 in line with the Virginian limitations on punitive damages. So anyway, I do have a couple of interesting, funny videos about that, including suggesting that Amber Heard, who supposedly had her information stolen from her phone or for some other reason, published pornographic images or sex videos or something like that. Supposedly, I think it was supposed to be part of the Apple hack, but she's already apparently got her body in sexual nature, all over the internet, apparently. So why doesn't she start an OnlyFans account? She's not going to be employed, presumably, by Hollywood for a long time after she made all these accusations saying that, they're just defending Johnny Depp and I'm speaking truth to power and all this other stuff. And I'm always wary of people that keep saying that they're speaking their truth as opposed to the truth. But anyway, she could start an OnlyFans account and have $10 million probably in a couple of months and pay Johnny Depp the, $10,350,000 that she owes him minus the $2 million that he owes her as a set-off, so $8,350,000. Anyway, like I said, let's see what happens with the case with Jeremy Maluta and Avi Yemeni, and let's hope for justice, whatever justice happens to be. Anyway, please like, share, subscribe, and see you later. And you can also check out the Friendly Geordies video, which is called PR Guy Unmasked or some name like that. And that goes for about 54 minutes. And, make your own mind up on what is said there. Thank you. Bye.